Hannah Jovelli, currently a student of Associate in Arts in University of the Philippines, Open University. And I've got my friend and my office mate, Kylie. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Kyl Santiago. I am 28 years old. I'm a singer, fashion designer, and nurse. And I also cook. What else do you want to know more?
Okay, so I think we're going to start our interview right now.
Okay.
And as what you mentioned, you're a singer, a fashion designer. When did you find it out that you like those things?
I believe ever since I had a sense of what I am, because I've been inclined with the most diva-ish kind of music where female singers sing their hearts out, and I'm also fascinated with fashion ever since I was a kid. So I can say probably around 8, 9 years old.
Okay. So when you since at that early age you know what you want, right? You know what you like. Have you considered that time that you're different from, of course you have other playmates that if you have a playmates like the same boys and girls, then how did you react? I mean, how did you find out that you're different from them?
Honestly, I didn't find myself different. I'm just being me. So I never thought of me being different from everyone else. But if you're referring to how did I react or how did I notice that I am what I am,
yes,
I can probably say that because honestly, I've never been around with other playmates. My childhood is not that regular childhood here in the Philippines where you used to play outside.
yes,
You go around play with boys and girls your age, play with lots of games, Filipino games. But in my case, I've been always just staying at home,
okay,
watching my aunts and sometimes my mother cook because I love to cook, and watching my grandmother sew her clothes and her daughters and sons' clothes. So I'm fascinated with it. So that's when I found out and when I realized that that's what my passion is about.
when you say when you say gay, for example, have you heard it from that age that you're, from your friends or you're from mom or your relatives that he's gay, or have you ever heard them mentioning that?
Family, no,
Mhm.
but friends, yes.
Okay, what's your mom's reaction or your family's reaction when they found out that you're gay? I mean, did you come out like at that age, or when you're 8 years old, you're still still discovering yourself?
Actually, if you want to know my coming out story, it's actually interesting.
Okay.
Well, at that age, I'm not really coming out. It's just me being me. So there is no coming out and whatnot because I'm not being asked of what I am because of my age at that point in time.
Okay.
But my coming out story is really funny. I was, if I'm not mistaken, second year high school.
High school.
When I technically came out because usually, because my mother, I never grew up with my mother, so I never knew what her reaction was at the time that she knew. But my father is a different story because I live at my father's side.
Oh.
So this is where at our school they handing out our cards, the grading cards at school. So funny thing is, when we were about to go home, my father and I, my friends started calling me Ati Shawi, out of randomly because they saw me walking behind the hallways of the school, and suddenly these friends of mine called me Ati Shawi, without them knowing that I was with my father because my father was walking maybe a few steps after me, so
Okay.
they didn't notice that I was with someone. So when they started to call me, my father called my attention and said, Marvin, I think they're calling you. So I was like, okay, I didn't know what I was going to react at that time. So what I did was I just looked at them, letting them know that I was with my father.
Okay.
And then they just stopped. And then when we went home, my father asked me directly if I was gay.
Mhm.
And I started saying no. And he started hitting me. Because at that point, I was thinking that he doesn't like me being gay. But actually, at the latter part of our conversation, he told me that why he did it to me, why he kept on hitting me, because I kept telling him that I wasn't. Until such time that, because I'm a very strong person, so even if my father is hitting me, I'm not crying. So, but I did no, as in I'm trying to stop my tears from, falling down my eyes. So, what happened was, I grew tired of my father hitting me, so I just said yes, I am, and then he stopped. And asked me, do you know why I was hitting you? Because you kept on lying to me. If that's what you feel, if that's what you are, go ahead, be yourself. That you don't have to lie to me. So that's when I realized that he's not hitting me because he hates me being gay and whatnot, but he is hitting me because I was trying to fool myself, I was trying to fool him, and I'm not accepting the fact that I am what I am. So that's the story of my coming out.
That's a very good story because, not here in the Philippines, we're a macho country here. So
I don't think it's a macho country. I believe Philippines is not really ready yet. They're not. They are. Gays are celebrated but not accepted. What I meant by that is, we are fond of seeing gays being funny. We are laughing at them. We are enjoying their company. But at the end of the day, we really don't accept them because politically, socially, gays are really not that open here in the Philippines. So that's my take on it. Philippines is not a macho country, but they are still, because we are a very religious country. We're in Catholic, Roman Catholic is the main.
Well, actually, when I say machismo, is like you see most of the leaders are men. Most of the priests, the church leaders are men.
But if I may add, I believe this Philippines is the first country who had a female president.
Female, yes, exactly. So regarding that, you say that your father accepted it when you said that you're gay. How do you think, or what's the importance of getting support from your family if you're gay or lesbian or queer? How much do you think it is, or what's the relevance of getting full support from your loved ones, relatives?
Yes, actually, I believe that's very important because a lot of people may say that gays are being called gay because they're happy, because they try to hide, all the sadness inside. But deep inside, gays is an adjective for a total antonym of the word. Because I believe lots of gays show that they're happy, or that they're entertaining because they're trying to hide their sadness inside. So and family acceptance is very important. That's very actually, it's one of the key factors where a gay person or where a homosexual person can be truly be themselves, be what they am, and try to achieve their goals. Because if they don't have a family support or a very good support, they wouldn't be able to, be here in what we've talked earlier, in this type of country wherein homosexuality is not really accepted. So that's the main thing. Home is where you should be, feel at home, where you can be yourself, not the other way around. But most stories here in the Philippines is the other way around. Sad to say, it's not really that accepted. Actually, at my home, I'm not really accepted. Although my father, what I call this, what I called it is legalized me.
Okay.
I mean, I just came out telling them that I'm gay, but to the point that I'm not still being I'm not being me, because I don't get to wear makeup or be the flamboyant me or the flamboyant myself. I can't be that at home. What I do is to try to act as normal as possible, or as manly as possible when I'm at home. So because my aunts where I was residing doesn't really accept what I am, because we are born again Christians, where they thought that being a homosexual is a sin. So I try to cover it up. I try to act as manly as possible when I'm around them, but outside I'm different. So that's the most important thing in every gay's life, or every homosexual person, a support, a backbone. So if you don't get it at home, try having some friends, or treat them as your family, because we as homosexuals have a saying wherein you choose your family, because a lot of homosexuals were not accepted by their own family, so we choose our own family.
Okay. Speaking of the religion, you mentioned that you're born again Christian.
Actually, way back then. So
okay, but have you went to a church before? Same church with your aunt?
Yes, I did. Actually, we were Roman Catholics, and then we're converted to born again Christians because my uncle put up a church where we call Jesus Christ the Life Giver. We used to go there, but I felt that every eye is on me, because that's when way back when I was in college, wherein I started playing out with my eyebrows, trying to pluck them, my inhibitions, my what we call here in the Philippines kalindian is starting to come out. So that's when it is very obvious that I am gay. So a lot of people are trying to whisper behind my back, talk behind my back. So what I did was a backslide. We're in.
Yes.
Actually, we call it Christian's backslide.
So you felt that you're being discriminated because you're homosexual? Have you ever felt that in your church, in your family, in your neighborhood, in your school?
Actually, not being not accepted and being discriminated is two different things. If you're trying to say me being discriminated at church,
yes, because
I don't think so. It's just that it is new to their eyes. It is new to their surroundings that men acting women. So I don't think that it's a discrimination. It's just that it is beyond the norm. So it is new to them. It's hard for them to accept it, but not totally discriminate. Because when you say discriminate, I believe that, let's say you were not being chosen for this type of, let's say, specific job because you were discriminated because you're gay or something like that. That's discrimination for me. But if, as churches, I don't think that you are being discriminated. It's just that they wanted to change you because they feel and they thought that it's beyond the norm. It's not what's God is saying, something like that.
How about in school? When you mentioned that you came out around your second year high school, what's your classmates' reactions, your teachers? Have you been teased about being gay?
Friends, teachers, no, not being teased, but other people who doesn't know me.
Okay.
That's when I got teased a lot. Not with my peers, not with my friends, not with even my teachers. Actually, I never felt discriminated at school because, as I've mentioned, here in the Philippines, gays are celebrated. So whenever that's why they're calling me Ate Shawi, because I used to perform at our school functions. I used to act. I used to sing. So it's really celebrated. So I never felt discriminated, but teased a lot. But with people who doesn't know me,
Okay.
tried to call me names like "Ay, bakla, bakla," or something like that. So
Do you get offended?
honestly, no, because that's what I am, and if they are having trouble, trying to get a grasp of what I am or what I'm trying to be, then it's their own, problem, not mine. As long as I'm being me, as long as I'm happy, then there's nothing else anybody could do about it.
And you have such like a very wonderful outlook for your personality, because not all not all understands being a homosexual. I mean, do you think even in your own community, the LGBTQI community, is there also any discrimination happening? Like, for example, bisexual, then there's the gay, lesbian, and then the queer. Do you feel any discrimination between that group, or?
I don't think so, because they are the one who should be supporting you. But to give you more information about discrimination, I actually felt that when I'm at work, because I believe discrimination will start whenever you try to apply for work,
Yes.
whenever you start working. Because at school, I don't think teachers has a chance of being discriminating the homosexual or something, because they have to provide equal teachings to their students. But at work, that's a different thing. I actually have one story wherein I should be promoted as operations manager. I was accounts manager for a medical transcription company, but I was not promoted because the owner of the company was Chinese, and he believes that being gay is what we call malice. So I was not promoted as an operations manager. In return, what I did was I resigned, because of course I'm not accepted here in the company, so why would I stay? And what I did was I tried to bring all of my clients that I brought in for the company, and left the company. So that's when discrimination will start at workplace.
How about choosing partner?
Well, that's a different thing. Choosing the partner here in the Philippines is very difficult. We actually have for you to have a partner here in the Philippines, number one is you should be manly. Straight looking gays. That's where you can find true love or something like that, because as I've mentioned, here in the Philippines it's not really accepted. So for you to have a partner, actually at the back of their mind, even they don't accept it or they don't admit it, that's where our mentality lies. If we try to get a boyfriend or to have a partner, they should at least be straight acting, because here in the Philippines it's not really accepted. So whenever you're going out, people will not think that you are together, because the other one is flamboyant enough or something like that. But in my case, for flamboyant gays, they say for you to have a partner, you have to get a straight guy wherein there's money involvement of some sort. But luckily in my case, I had actually 3 relationships wherein it's all love, and actually find them at the workplace. So it's difficult, yes, because you have to really bring yourself out there for a lot of people, or for you to meet a lot of people, and you have to not be yourself when it comes to me, because I'm a flamboyant type of gay. So a lot of gays are not into that. So you have to be straight acting for you to have a partner here in the Philippines. So I try to act, or actually not act, but I try to change, wherein I don't dress up as flamboyant as possible. I try to wear straight looking things or something like that.
But you'll do that for your partner.
Not actually for my partner, but for myself as well, because I don't want people to think whenever we're going out that we're together, because they will think differently, or they will try to judge you, or to try to stare at you judgingly or something like that. So I try my best to try to act or dress normal as possible, so
But
people can.
Mhm. But isn't that like you're not being yourself, or you're kind of in the middle?
In a way, yes, but that's me coping up with the society. Because
Okay.
if not, then I won't be able to have.
You'll just be trampled for that. Okay, and so regarding choosing a as what you mentioned, luckily you have a partner.
Have had. Currently, I'm single.
Okay. So, regarding also like you have there's flamboyant gay. Then also I've heard like
Straight acting.
bakla. What's called this? Baklang pamparlor. I've heard. What's
There
those
are
like?
a lot of, in my definition,
Uh-huh.
there are actually, okay, well, let's get to it one by one. There
Mhm.
is this kind of gay wherein they're straight acting, what we call paminta, wherein even,
Closet gay or no?
this is the closest to gay,
Okay.
wherein you will not notice at first glance that they are gay, because they are straight acting, they dress like a man, they even sound like a man sometimes, so that's the first kind, the closeted gay, or what we call here in the Philippines, paminta. The second type of gay is the parlorista type of gay,
Parlors,
wherein
yes.
they are so loud, they have long hairs, more or less transgender, but with
Okay.
lots of makeups. And I'm sorry for this word, but the trashy looking kind of gay. Sorry,
But
just how I can
agree with
define
you.
it.
Yes.
Because they're the loudest one, where they say a lot of things, just being noisy, something like that. But I love them. I don't have anything against them. Love them because sometimes I am them. So
Okay.
third type of gay is like me. We're in dress some not really cross dresser,
Mhm.
but sometimes put makeup and sometimes flamboyant, but still wearing, some dress outfits wherein they just can be them
Mhm.
without any norm, without following any norm, without following the straight acting or the straight looking gays or the female looking gay. So that's we lie in the middle.
Okay.
And the last, I believe, what they classify as bisexuals, wherein they both try men and women in as a sexual partner or something like that. There are lots of types, but it's gonna be too long to enumerate.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Because that's what they mentioned. Sexual identity or preference is a gray area.
Mhm.
We just like to label
Yes.
just being human for us to identify. But anyways, do you think being a homosexual is much more accepted nowadays compared before?
Definitely, I have to agree with that, because right now we do have, as what you've mentioned, LGBT community,
Yes.
wherein we try to gather and try to. Actually, we now have a party list where we are represented.
Exactly. Mhm.
So way back then, there is no party list wherein we can go
Have
to
your
Congress
voice.
and
Mhm.
try to pass something or something that will help us, but still not that 100% accepted, but we're getting there. And with the help of everyone and every LGBT community, even this men and women alike, we need to help each other, or help each and every one of us to be accepted. So it's getting there.
Okay.
It's a slow process, but we are getting there.
You mentioned earlier the word accepted. So, as what you mentioned in your house or your father legalized it, they've accepted it. They've accepted your sexuality. What's the difference of being accepted and being supported as a homosexual? What's the difference? Right? I mean, what can you say about us, for example, your teammates, your office mates accepts who you are, then though compared to those who supports who you are?
I don't think there is much difference, but being accepted is sometimes it has limitations.
Okay.
Wherein whenever the specific type of gay is acting way beyond the normal, we try to, think, look the other way or something
Yes.
like that, or try to talk to that person to tell them that what you're doing is incorrect or something like that. But they know that you are gay. Being supported means that whatever decision or whatever sexual or preferences that you might have, they will support you, or they will be there for you whenever and that decision that you did, you fall down or something
Yes.
like that, they will be there to support you. So I think that's the difference between the two.
Okay. So right now, what especially like the latest if I don't know if you've heard about the latest news about the transgender that were murdered by the American soldier. What do you think are the challenges for the LGBT community that that right now, or being as a homosexual or are facing right now?
Challenges in relation to that case, or
Challenges could be in that case or your everyday life.
Actually, I don't see things as, or I don't see events, or I don't see hardships as challenges. I just because I don't see anything to be a problem. I'm always positive thinking. So
Okay.
whatever comes your way, just have to face it on. Face forward, head held up high, and face them. If you have certain difficulties that you might encounter, just stay strong, be positive, and try to face them forward. But challenges right now in the LGBT community with regards to this case is it's actually very difficult because what we say, the suspect is an American, wherein it's actually a long-term friendship between Philippines and American. And we all know here in the Philippines, America is one of the most respected, most we put them into pedestal.
Yeah.
So it's very hard for the Philippines to try to fight with them or something like that. So that's a challenge, I believe. And for LGBT community to overcome that is to just try to voice their concerns, try to air their feelings and whatnot, and continue to let the people know that we should get equal rights and we should get support from everyone, not just from our own community, but for
Exactly.
every Filipino people.
Yeah, because I think I have to agree with you as what you mentioned here in the Philippines. I mean, you're being celebrated, but not totally being supported or accepted. Because if you see the comments for that regarding that incident, it's saying it's bakla, hindi ka nagsabi, or and for me it's like the words that they use is really like discriminating, especially even if I'm not like a homosexual. So I think the last thing is that my question is, what is your message to those people that still doesn't understand or your identity or sexual preference?
Actually, whatever people thought of what we are is their own opinion. I don't want to change what they think or what they view they view us because
Mhm.
it's their own
Opinion.
it's their own opinion, it's their own problem. What I just want to say is we are what we are and we are also humans. So treat us as humans as possible as they can. I don't ask for their acceptance, I don't
Yes.
ask for their approval, but
Mhm.
just treat us as humans. That's all.
Okay, thank you so much, Kylie.
Thank you.